Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having a great day. So today in the shop, we got Big Blue up on the lift. I kind of backed off of him over the last couple weeks. I hadn't really done much. I did get the front end back together. I got some HID headlights in it and whatnot. But as far as the rest of the truck, I've been kind of like on the fence on what I wanted to do. I've been thinking about changing the wheels. I've been thinking about the steps that are on it. What I'm gonna do, am I gonna put newer wheels? Am I gonna get some wheels that I have and get some adapters, get them to work? But I think today what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to take what we got with Big Blue and just make it as best we can.
I was debating about just buying some new wheels for this truck. And then I was looking at the wheels that were on it. So the wheels that are on it, I mean, they're in rough shape. This one is the best looking because I've already done the process on it that I'm about to go over with you. But I'm thinking the whole soul of this project has been try to get the most out of it for the least amount invested. I'm thinking we're gonna try to take these wheels, those steps, and just get them as best we can with what we have. Let me show you this front wheel. This is the worst out of them. So let me get in close. You can see that wheel's already been cleaned, believe it or not, with wheel and tire cleaner. And this is as good as it looks just by regular hand washing. It's in rough shape, it looks like crap. Same thing, look at these steps. They're in dull, just beat up shape. But on the other side, went over the wheel with some steel wool. I went with my polisher. First I went with the air grinder. It's like a fabric sewn polisher. It's made for aluminum, chrome. I mean, really, you could use it on anything. This kit I bought from Eastwood probably over 10 years ago. Has all these different colored clays, depending on what you're polishing. The different colors and different wheels are for different, you know, how hard you want to go on the metal, how soft, how much polish you want. Now, this is a total experiment because these are aluminum wheels, but they do have like a clear coat over them. So with the clear coat that's over them, you know, you're taking a risk. If you go too much, too hot, too fast, you could burn up the clear coat. But aluminum dissipates heat really well. I don't think I have to worry about that. It's just a matter of, you know, cleaning it up with the steel wool and then getting the scratches out that you put in it with the steel wool. So this I had already hit with steel wool. It was all rusted. It looked like this corner right there. This whole edge looked like it too. Steel wooled this, I polished it. This has been steel wooled, no polish. You can see how dull it looks. You can see the scratches in it and the surface. This step, not touched. That wheel, obviously not touched. Same with the back one. All right, so you can see the lower part of the rim. We're getting some of that shine back. That part has not been touched. There's definitely a clear difference one to the other. So this was really 3 steps. Steel wool for number 1, then hitting it with the clay bar and the wheel number 2, and then hitting it with the Metal Mania polish number 3, and then wiping it down with some microfiber towel. And you could tell, I could see a definite difference and improvement on the overall look. For a little bit of time, it's worth it. Now, am I gonna get it perfect? No. See, it still does have a haze of some scratches. Now, I might try some different polishes. I might go a little bit heavier. I might try a couple different ways to see if I can lessen that. I might even hit it with a little bit of 1000 grit or 2000 grit and wet sand it and then hit it with the polisher. But even if I just kept it the way it is, when you're standing there looking at the truck, you're not gonna be on it like that, like, oh wow, there's still little light scratches in it. You're gonna be standing back, looking down on the ground on the tire like this. You're gonna be looking at the tire like this. And to me, that's definitely acceptable. Way better than what I started with.
right, there we go. A lot better than it was before. It's not 100% perfect. I didn't think it would be. I did hit the cap some, and the cap actually polished up because this cap I didn't touch. See if we could tell a difference. I can tell a difference. It might be hard to pick up on camera, but this is really, really dull. And we're gonna do the steps next. So let me work on that step, and then we'll give an overview of the whole thing. All right, so I finished up that step. So as you can see, for this truck, it's a lot better than what we had before. Let me take a step back, see if I can get a nice, it's gonna be tough, but yeah, I mean, look at that. So today, we're gonna continue working on Big Blue. I'm gonna do this left front wheel. This was the worst out of all four. I did the other two on the other side yesterday. I'm gonna actually take the wheel off the truck so I can set it up in a better way so you guys can actually see the whole process as I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, and we're gonna get rolling on this baby, so let's go. All right, everybody, as you can see, we got the wheel set up here. I got you at a good angle where I think you can see how I'm gonna do this on this wheel. Like I said, this is the worst one out of all of them. So I'm gonna get my gloves on and get all my equipment ready. We're gonna get working on this bad boy. All right, so now we got that step all set. We went in there with the steel wool, and the steel wool is there to get all that baked on, caked on brake dust. So all that stuff you see me removing, all that dark colored, that's old brake dust that has metallic and cast iron and everything in it from the brake system that's just been landing on this wheel and been just cooking in, because when that stuff comes off, if the truck's been being driven, it's gonna be hot and it's gonna cook right into the wheel. And that's what happens. People don't clean their wheels very often. They end up with those stains that even after they use the basic wheel cleaners and whatnot, it doesn't come off. Now, obviously, because we use the steel wool, we have dulled some of the finish. So let's go to the next step. We're gonna start doing some polishing. Let's get going. All right, so we just did the first step of polishing. We went over it with the wheel now. Like I said yesterday, this is a sewn wheel. It's a cloth. I would say the nap is a medium. It's not super heavy, but it's not super light. And I went with the two, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these are the lesser grade. I would call it chalk, really. It's like a clay. There's the blue and then there's the white. Now, Lightly wet sand the flats with some 2000 grit sandpaper just to take out a few of those light hazing scratches and then polish it again. So I'm gonna give that a shot and we'll see how that looks. If that looks okay, I'll do this entire wheel like that. Now the wheels on the other side, on the passenger side, I did not do that, and I'm probably not going to. I'm gonna try the 2000 grit, I'm gonna lightly just sand it, and I'm gonna see how that looks. And if that looks decent, I'll do this wheel like it. The back wheel, the one that I have left on the passenger or on the driver's side in the back, I might just do it the regular way. Like I said, this is the worst that was out of the 4. And let's try that 2000 grit and see if it makes any kind of difference. So I don't know if it's hard to pick up on the camera. This area right here has been polished, but I did not wet sand it with the 2000 grit. I did wet sand this with the 2000 grit, and I think there's a improvement on the overall look. So I'm gonna go over the whole rim with the 2000 grit. All right, so I just went over the whole wheel with the 2000 grit, and as you saw, I had to fight. Man, that wheelway was really stuck on there. I ended up having to let the air out of the tire just to get the bead back far enough to peel that sucker off. It's probably been on there for quite a few years. These tires look like they've been on it for a while. I'm sure the date on them. And I'm gonna just take a quick break. This break right here is powered by Cumberland Farms. In case you guys are wondering what's in my cup, black coffee, iced. So I don't get much work done without a couple of these going. All right, here we go. This is pretty much the finished product. This is what's gonna go on the truck. Is it 100% perfect? It's not, but it's way better than what it was, and that's what I was going for. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you guys checking it out. I'm gonna get this back on the truck and I'm gonna work on the last one, but every one I went about the same process, except for the first 2 I did on the truck. This one I wanted to get a better vantage point for you guys, and like I said, this one was the worst. This one was in terrible shape. The one on the back there is nowhere near close as bad as this one. So appreciate you guys checking it out. I'll get back with you soon.